Have we started yet?
No. Let's start now.
That was garbage. Is my hair okay, Glenn? Because I got a hat. But I just noticed we're all wearing hats.
It's fine. Put your hat on because
there's one little part
a little damp, and where the top lighting is going to look thin. And
it's going to look thin. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm 44.
Oh, there's plenty of shit you can do about it.
There's things you can do.
Take a can of spray paint and just.
Come on,
well, that's what we do when we're shooting.
That's what everybody does.
Yeah. We're in Hollywood.
That's the secret. They just take spray paint, spray your hair on.
Yeah, most people don't realize that. Like almost nobody.
And every female actor is wearing a wig. The vast majority.
Well, if you're on a TV show and you're one of the leads and you're an actress, you're most likely wearing a wig, and that's not because you don't have good hair. It's because getting your hair done every single morning destroys your hair. It destroys it.
It's also so much faster to just
pop a wig on.
Staple the wig on, and then.
Why aren't we doing that?
I know, but it's another reason for audience members to watch this bullshit that we're putting out there into the world and not try to live up to, like, imagine like a woman looking at another actor's hair and being like, oh, I wish my hair was as thick and luxurious.
Yeah.
But it's a wig.
It's a wig.
It's a wig, ladies.
I'll tell you what too, in terms of like the men out there, I mean, pretty much like all my favorite actors don't have luxurious hair. Like when I really think about the people that I like.
All the best character actors.
Yeah.
They just let it go.
They just let it go.
Yeah. Jack
Why aren't
Nicholson.
you letting yours go?
Because I will look good on me.
See, that's what everybody thinks.
But that's what everybody says.
I think it would look good. I think you'd look fine.
I'll start letting it go.
You know what? I will say there's certain...
I've never shaved my head, by the way. I have no idea what it would look like. I could have another eyeball.
No, listen. You've got a good shaped head. I can tell.
We've already talked about your head. You got a great head.
You don't know what's on today.
Well, that's true. It could be all lumpy.
Could be bumpy wumpy on
Those people have lumpy heads. That's weird. Yeah.
But that would be good character shit. You'd be like, oh man, that guy with the lumpy head.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's fucking like. See that dude with the lumpy head in the movie?
But then he's limited to only playing lumpy-headed characters. You know what I mean? You can only play lumpy-headed people. Otherwise, they got to like fill it in with like, you know.
You can make a whole sitcom about that. The lumps.
Yeah, the lumpies.
The lumpies. That's even better.
The lumpies. Yeah. I will say there are certain balding patterns that I think are more attractive than others. Like, I would say the least attractive balding pattern, and this is the most unfortunate in many ways, is when you've got somebody with a full head of hair and then it's just missing, right? And then it starts to go like right here. Like I would prefer to go bald in the way that Jack Nicholson went bald, where it just goes here.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it just looks cooler. You have like a fucking point in the front.
But Jack's also bald in the back too. You just don't notice it.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening with me.
Yeah, no, same here. I'm thinning in the crown. It's not fun.
I think like the front. I mean, this has never been thick, but if I turn around right now,
the three of us are.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare back there. The history will be gone.
Yeah.
We're almost all half a century old.
Buddy, I almost lost my mind last night because I know you have a birthday coming up this week, right?
I do.
And you're old. I almost shit myself.
Yeah, I know.
You're an old man, but you don't look it.
I know. Yeah.
I know.
It's amazing.
But I'll tell you why. Because Tom and Mary Day did not look old until like, I don't know, like their late 60s, early 70s. And then they look 107. But it was just like.
It took a minute.
Yeah, they just had these like genes that they kind of look young, and then wham, really old.
Baseball bat of age.
Yeah. So my theory about how to like not upset the audience is just always be on camera. You know, never stop being on camera.
Oh, right. So there's no gap.
There's no gap. It's the gap that throws people off. Like when a guy goes away for a while and then comes back and people are like, oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
What happened to that guy?
Yeah.
But if
you're watching the process.
If you watch people slowly deteriorate, you're fine with it.
Yeah, you're good with it. Yeah.
Well, in terms of like dyeing the gray hair that I have, like there was a time where I was doing it on the various shows, Sunny and Mythic Quest is a show I do on Apple. And I will paint the grays out or I'll dye them. And then I would tell myself, well, no, I'm just doing the character, like the characters, you know, we want to stay like a certain thing. And then I was doing it and then we would stop shooting and then I would continue doing it. And then I would look at other guys and be like, oh, he looks cool. He's going like salt and pepper. That looks good.
Yeah.
But then I'm like,
you can't pull the trigger. It's hard to pull the trigger on it when you're an actor. Like you're like, you want to convince yourself, like I want to convince myself that I can still play a guy in his like mid-30s if I really wanted to. But let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
So I'm actually letting the grays come through here a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to fully commit to that, but like this part right here is on top. I'm still pretty dark. But like here, it's pretty gray.
For the listener at home, here was the side of his head.
Oh yeah, sorry for the side of my head. But it occurred to me because I was sort of going through this like.
But I hope no one's actually listening to this part. We're gonna cut all this. This is so fucking boring. Do we want to dive right into this week's episode? Do we want to talk about
I think we got to talk about the poll.
Okay, let's jump back a little bit.
Okay, because I have a little bit of an issue with the poll.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
now.
Really?
Yeah, I've got an issue with the poll. Okay. I feel it was a little bit biased because a lot of the comments that I was reading were like, no,
based on people's opinions.
Well, no, it was no, it was.
Can you say what poll you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so we had a poll on the internet, on Instagram.
Yeah, on
And
YouTube,
Twitter.
everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Twitter.
Yeah, and
And it was just a thumbs up or thumbs down if you thought the clicks was funny, or if you thought the clicks ruined the scene.
No.
Oh,
This
here's
is the
how you're
problem.
getting into the
This
thing.
is the fucking problem.
Okay, what do you got?
That is not what I was saying. That is not what I was saying. What I was saying was what I didn't like was the actual shooting of the gun. The clicks I like.
Yeah.
Now this is where the poll got biased because people misunderstood and they thought because you did say you were like, the firing is funny, but I think you maybe even said what's even funnier is that when he runs out of bullets and the clicks afterwards. And I didn't respond to that. I just kept going. I was like, no, it's not funny. But what I meant was that the actual shooting of the gun is what I didn't find funny. The clicks I found funny. But then I would also like to clarify, I do think it would be funny if it clicked 5 times, if he was gesturing with it and it clicked 5 times, and then on the last one a bullet went off. Like he forgot there was one in the cylinder.
Isn't that what we did though? He shoots one and then he goes 2, 3, 4, 5 with the clicks, and then the last one is 6.
No. He shoots the gun like fucking 6 times.
And we don't react to it at all.
And no one's reacting
the gun's not going off in the room, which it wasn't.
So-
wait, Meg, what was the actual question? Can we hear
It
the question?
was, is Danny firing the gun funny or does it ruin the scene?
Well,
I
okay, so
understand,
that's
yeah.
the other problem. I
By the
never
way,
said
that was
it
the
ruined the
wording.
scene.
That
I
was the
never
wording
said
you
it.
guys wanted.
But I want to be clear about this also. I never said that it ruined the scene. So this is why I feel like the poll was biased. It was like, it was almost like you said, like, you may as well have said, like, was Danny firing the gun funny or is Danny on the show not funny? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't say that the scene wasn't funny.
know.
Are you
The
saying
polls
that
seem
the
clear.
results of this voting
Are biased.
Okay,
Yes,
so
it was-
and
it was-
therefore null and void.
It's null and void. Okay.
I will say, though, the comment I liked the best was that they said the more that Glenn talks about how not funny it is, the funnier it becomes.
Right.
This will just make it funnier.
I get that.
I will say though, to your credit, I think out of the whatever, like say 107 people liked it. There's 2 or 3 dudes that agree with you that they didn't like it. Now,
Yes, and the ones that agreed said, I didn't like it because I felt like the gun going off was ridiculous, basically, were their comments.
and
And I was
that's
like,
the-
that's the only thing I
and
was
that's
reacting
the creative process. That's the whole thing. So like when we come into an editing room, we're like, okay, we have a funny idea. And there is no when it comes to ideas about jokes. There's no like factual, this is funny, this is not funny.
It's all
It's all what's
subjective.
pinging. It's pinging you, and it's pinging you as too false to be funny. And Rob and I are thinking it's true enough to get away with and be funny.
Totally.
And that's
And yeah, listen, and I'm hyperbolic. I admit. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're dug in.
I'm reactive. No, I'm not dug in. I'm not dug in.
You're
I
not
swear to
dug in.
God.
You're not dug in.
I promise you, I'm not dug in. I swear to God, I'm not. But I am hyperbolic. You know what I mean? Like, so it may have come off like I was saying, that the scene was ruined, but that was not my intention. I don't think the scene was ruined. Anyway, should we move past the poll?
Yeah,
we
let's
can keep
move past
talking.
the poll.
I don't know.
I think we
we want to keep it going. A lot
you just
of
like
the
getting me
comments,
right.
You
wanna get me
want
riled
to
up.
poke the bear
a lot of
bit.
comments
to
that I
poke the
saw
bear.
more than anything else about way more comments about that episode had nothing to do with the dry firing and more to do with Glenn slowly morphing into Dennis in various episodes and how much people love
I
that.
want to challenge that, okay? Because there is the raging, angry golden god Dennis, which we found and love to use in the show. That character is not in this episode that we watched, that we're going to be discussing today. He is not a raging man.
Yeah.
And he's a delightful guy in this episode. So there are other sides to the Dennis character that I think we should embrace.
I'm not talking about the Dennis character. I'm talking about Glenn on the podcast.
Well, yes, but I'm saying same as
the listeners and
same
viewers
as
are
the
enjoying.
show, though.
Yes.
If we lean too hard into one lane, it gets old. It gets old. You know.
So don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear. Let the bear come out when the bear wants to come
poke it
out.
later.
Okay.
Well, because also, like, you know, I mean,
See, the thing if the bear knows it's going to be poked, it's not going to.
no, it will. It'll still get
will,
mad. The
anyway.
bear's stupid. The bear's not that smart.
The bear's just a bear.
He's just a dumb
He
bear.
just doesn't want to get poked. Unless you got honey on that stick.
Yeah,
and then
you could be poking.
It's like, you poked me with a honey stick? Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can lick that off later.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're just poking me with a stick. What is this?
A regular stick with no honey on it?
How many times do you think you can poke a bear with a stick before it starts to slash at you?
I think not that many.
I think you could get 6 pokes in.
Is the bear asleep? Is the bear hibernating?
No.
Have you covered yourself in something to cover up your smell? Does he know you're there?
You're just you. And the bear,
so he can smell you.
No,
in the scenario, you're you.
The
Okay.
bear's not around. It's not protecting his child, right? The bear's just doing his bear
Just a
thing.
bear, like, foraging for
And
whatever.
it's
in a good mood, even,
This is
say.
2022, so it's used to people everywhere. And you go up to the bear and you're in the park and you're like, wow, I'm getting right up to this bear.
Yeah.
And you poke it with a stick once and the bear's like, huh, what the fuck was that?
you're fucking
You know what I
kidding me,
mean? You
right?
poke
Yeah.
it again and the bear's like, oh, what's this guy doing? You poke it a 3rd time, the bear's like, oh, I'm getting a little agitated
That's
here.
3.
You poke it a 4th time and the bear's like, is this guy serious?
They take you fucking
When is
kidding
he
me?
checking it for honey, though? I mean, like,
No, you poke it the 5th time and the bear's like, all right, dude, forget this guy. I don't know what he's
I
doing.
might have to teach him a lesson.
You poke it the 6th time and the bear's like, you're dead.
so you think
Well, he swats him,
You get
and then he's
5
like-
pokes of the bear?
I
6.
think
He's saying
I think
6.
you could poke a bear 6 times before.
He just explained the
before
he just
it's
explained
time.
No, but he got away with it 5 times.
Got away with it twice.
And on the
yeah,
6th time,
he got swiped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with about at least like a 6-foot stick. I'm not saying like it's so close to you because the bear's got
Well, you want to do this safely.
1, 2.
You want to stab the bear with a stick from a safe distance.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, guys. There is no safe distance to poke a bear.
Nor is it appropriate to poke any animal with a stick.
You probably
really.
could just poke it once in reality.
Guys, this episode brought to you by PETA.
We have a lot of that.
Here's another thing too. Rob, have you been watching the episodes?
Yes.
I kind of watch every episode now, being like, I wonder if Rob's actually watching. You son of a bitch.
No,
You
not only have
broke
I,
our trust.
No, totally fair. Not only have I watched every episode, I went back and watched the politics episode.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Okay,
I did.
good,
Yes,
good,
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
And also now I've recruited Caitlyn to watch them as well. And she's very
Oh,
excited.
I like
We
her.
have
She's
no
funny.
memory.
She's very funny.
We have
She's-
no memory of like half the shit that's happening. Like the knives thing from this episode.
Actually, can we talk about that for a second? So, as I recall, I mean, the whole thing of us doing the countdown, that was not in the script.
no, because we're laughing.
You guys are just fucking straight up laughing.
We're straight up
dude.
laughing, but it totally works.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well,
It's the
they,
joy
would,
of the
they would be
characters.
laughing at
Yeah.
the potential of throwing knives at the.
Yeah.
I have a thing where I watch the episodes, and this is just a creative weakness, but where every time I watch, I have this like battle in my mind of like, were we better? Were we doing it better? Was this funnier? Like, do you guys have that? Do you struggle at all with that? I struggle with that all the time.
No.
I'm just constantly comparing stuff and then doubting, which I think that's really just fear and doubt.
The first 2 seasons, I felt that I definitely did not feel that. I felt we were doing it better now. Most of the times I was watching it and I'm like, I get why that was funny at the time, but I would never make that joke now. Now that we're into season 3, like this last episode, Dennis and Dee's mom is dead. That one made me laugh from start to finish. And I was like, I stand by this.
This is a
fully.
really good
But-
episode. This is, I think, the first time that we started making every character a little bit stupid. I mean, Danny's reaction to hugging when he finds out that Stephen Collins has been working with people with AIDS is, I completely forgot about that.
Also, look, can we talk about his performance? Like, this is such a great actor, this Danny DeVito guy.
Yeah, we struck
Burn
gold.
these
We found
clothes.
gold.
Hey,
We found this guy.
I can't
these
believe
clothes.
nobody had ever, discovered this guy before. I mean, he's incredible. But like, no, his turn from like, going from the grift to just immediately like
Dropping it.
AIDS.
You touch
Did you
anybody?
touch anybody?
Just
I
immediately.
mean, that's so stupid for his character, and I love that. Now, there's a guest actor in this episode, and I don't want to name the person because the story I'm going to tell is sort of a personal story. But it was this actor's first ever audition for anything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, so we had met him, I guess, after season 1 or 2, and
well, he's friends with our makeup artist, Leah Votro.
and he said that he had his first ever audition for a movie, television, anything, and it was for our show. And he went. Our casting director at the time was a guy named John Papsadera when we started the show, and he goes to John Papsadera's office, and he's as nervous as can be. Right, he's never auditioned for anything, and he's got his headshots, and he knows his lines. He's ready to go, and suddenly he has this like rumble in his stomach of like, and that like taste in your mouth and the sweat of like
Taste in your mouth?
Well, I don't know, just like the dry
the
mouth,
taste in
maybe.
your mouth? Okay,
yeah,
right.
like a dry mouth situation that your
Or
body.
the watery.
Yeah, your
That's
body.
usually vomit.
Oh, that's vomit.
Yeah, that's vomit.
That's not where this is.
All right, sorry.
Well, this is coming out the other end. So he realizes he's going to have diarrhea. Like he's like, there's no way I'm not having diarrhea, and it's
Vomit of the anus.
It's coming really bad, and yeah,
It's coming.
It's
He said, yeah.
so he goes to the bathroom, but just before he gets to there, some actress goes in, and they lock the door, and he's waiting, and he can kind of hear the person in there like rehearsing their lines, and they're like taking forever.
Jesus, come on.
And he like taps on the door, but they're not coming out, and then he's like, I'm not gonna make it. So he goes in the alleyway behind the casting office, and he's like a dumpster there, and he doesn't quite make it. He has diarrhea in his pants. He pulls his pants down, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is a mess."
This is a mess.
He's trying to salvage the situation. He has no toilet paper, so he's wiping his butt with his own headshots.
And the sides.
And the side, yeah.
Pieces of paper and photographs of himself.
He's wiping his ass with pictures of himself.
There's never been a greater metaphor for Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, just like it's something out of like like a Ben Stiller
Absolutely.
comedy. So,
right. Straight out of a, yeah.
and so as the story goes, he realizes I'm done. I can't do the audition. I got to go home. And he gets in his car, and his pants are so ruined, and they're making the car smell so bad that he like takes them off, and like I don't know if he throws them out the window or whatever, but he's driving home with no pants on. And as he's driving home with no pants on, he gets rear-ended.
Oh my God.
He gets rear-ended. Now, the rest of it is kind of hazing for me. Like, I think there's like a homeless guy who looks in the window and starts yelling like, that dude's got no pants on. And anyway, so we heard the story, and then I think he auditioned again. Because we didn't just like automatically give him a part. We had to make sure he could.
I think, yeah, no, he auditioned for this.
He did, but we found out about it after he had auditioned.
Oh, that's right.
So
that's
we
right.
probably would have just given it to him anyway because of that. But then he read for it and was great, and we were like, yes, you have earned this role.
Do you guys have any terrible audition stories, like your worst auditions you ever went into?
That's a good question. Oh, God, worst audition.
So many.
Yeah, but nothing like that.
Many.
Right? No, nothing where your pants were filled with diarrhea or you know.
I mean, yeah, it's like to go from that. Any story is going to be a step down at this point from that story. I think that's.
I barely remember my days of auditioning. It's,
You
it's
have to
crazy.
delete
it's
it
like a
because
whole
it's like,
different era of my life.
I do remember
Constant rejection.
I had been given the terrible advice. I was a sophomore in college, and I decided, maybe I want to go to acting school. And so I applied to BU, and I did the audition. And I remember the one acting teacher at my college gave me some pretty bad advice, which was, he's like, you don't have to do a monologue, do a scene and just do your half of the scene. So, yeah, I know, it's really bad advice. So I did something like from Hurly Burly, and like, I would say like my line and then pretend I was hearing a response. So I'd be like, it's the menus, Karen. Like you're not even looking at the menu. Pause. Oh, really? You would say that. Like that kind of, like, of course.
Rapatata.
Yeah, well, I didn't get in, of course. It didn't go well. The dick flyer. We got to talk about the dick flyer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the dick flyer. Do you guys remember whose idea was that? I don't remember who came up with that. Is that?
That feels like a Martyr Roselle joke to me, but I don't know.
I think we were talking about. I think it occurred to us in the moment, like we were pitching different ideas of like what should the shape of the flyer be, and somebody pitched a bicep, and then I think somebody was like, if you turn that upside down, that would probably look like a dong, and then because that was who we were and still are, we decided that was the funniest shape for the flyer.
It absolutely is. I can't imagine a better joke for that sequence. There are a lot of things I feel like from this episode that sort of endured and stayed. None of which I can now recall and remember.
Dooley's dead. Well, that whole scene, I mean, what I love about that particular scene when we're talking about all the people that we're going to invite to the party mansion, and like, to me, it distills exactly what we were trying to do, which is like these guys, the joke isn't, oh, isn't it funny that these guys are like homophobic? That wasn't it at all. It's that they don't even realize what they're doing.
No, right.
Because they're so stupid. So that's like perfectly distilled in that scene in the party mansion where I open up my flip phone and I'm gonna like go through my contacts list and I only have 2 numbers saved, Dennis and Charlie. And then everybody else that we talk about, we have either burned or has killed themselves or doesn't want to hang out with us. And then we go and torture these other 2 people to show that like this is how we've alienated ourselves.
Yeah, it's the first time we took the characters to that place where we're like, these people are so extreme that they've actually alienated everyone. By the way, all those names were like college buddies of mine. All those nicknames.
Stash.
Everybody had a nickname.
And you brought
Stash, who got his nickname because he was afraid of pistachios.
That's wild.
I thought that was a mustache reference.
Yeah, no, it was a pistachio reference.
I just remember on that day, which we shot in that actual house that's in the exterior shot. Nick Grad, who is the executive at FX, who's basically like the boss, right? We came that day.
Yeah.
And I remember he was behind the monitors. It was the first time that FX, because they kind of like were pretty hands off and they would just be like, okay, just deliver the episodes. And he was like, no, I live in the area. So he came by that day. And I remember us not being able to get through that scene. We were laughing so hard. And like that we were like wasting so much time.
There's a lot of it in the bloopers.
Yeah. And I just remember at one point looking over at Nick, who was sitting at the producer's monitors, and he was laughing as hard as we were. He was like crying, laughing.
Nick Grad was?
Yes. And I was like,
stone-faced Nick Grad.
I was like, thank God. Like if Nick is laughing this hard at this, then I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, we're okay.
Nick's a good laugher. I mean, not so much in like a business pitch meeting, but like,
tough in a pitch.
He's
hearing,
his job.
He's hearing
them all day.
every day.
I get it.
But when you're seeing the actual goods, you're seeing the performance. It's funny.
You're seeing the goods.
When you're if you were pitching that scene to him, it wouldn't be as funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I noticed this was the first episode, I think, credited to Matt Shackman.
Yeah, I think so.
Matt Shackman, who, to quote The Big Lebowski, directed the bulk of the series. Bulk of the series, dude.
Bulk of the series.
Bulk of the series.
Yeah,
dude.
at least for a while.
At least,
I don't know if any. Well, he's probably still
moved on to Mad Men and Game of Thrones, and he does. What's that Disney show?
WandaVision. Yeah, he directed all the WandaVisions. Matt Shackman. God, I miss that guy.
Yeah.
I love him so much. He's
Brian Unger.
Brian Unger.
Is amazing. This is the first scene with the lawyer.
Yeah.
And he I feel like he got our humor like immediately. He understood exactly what was funny about it and then made it way funnier than it was even on the page.
I mean, that scene where he's reading the will and you're yelling at him about the will and then you're yelling at him to tell Barbara stuff.
Yes, yeah, tell
even though you know that she's dead.
Yeah.
I remember sitting with Hornsby. I mean, Hornsby and I are credited with writing the episodes, but as we've said many, many times, nobody really writes we're all writing it together. Right. But I do remember being in a room with Hornsby and figuring out the idea that it would be funny if they were not clearly misunderstanding, but almost like subconsciously misunderstanding that this man was not the person who was actually writing the words that he was saying, and that they could somehow connect back to Barbara and communicate with Barbara. That's how like locked off they are.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works really
funny.
well.
The pauses he takes when he's like, your fat monkey heart.
Yes, yeah. When he realizes he's about to read something that's going to trigger a response, he's like, It's like I have to read this. I have to read
I wonder
this.
how many episodes has he done?
Unger? I don't know.
5, 6?
We haven't had him. Have we had him on? I feel like the last time we had him on was when we did that.
The trial with the big fake
trial
hands.
scene. Yeah.
McPoyle versus
Gotta have him
McPoyle.
back. God, I love him so much.
6 episodes.
6.
That's it. God, I feel like he's been in so many.
Well, we talk about him a bit. Like we're always threatening each other with like, I'm going to call him.
Right.
He's going to come in and fix it for us because he's my lawyer.
He's my lawyer. Yeah. No matter how many times he undermines us, he's still our guy. That's our guy. Well, we expect that you expect that from a lawyer, right?
Sure.
You're like, yeah. Anyway, what else? I'm going to consult my notes here, guys. I had Ross print out my notes so that it doesn't look like I'm just looking at my phone.
I love that. There
That's
you go.
a little bit more professional.
That's good. That's a good question. Daddy.
You know what I really like about this? I like that, well, first of all, we do something that we don't normally do. We did a little bit in the politics episode, but when we cut outside in the hallway and Bruce Mathis is walking away and he calls Tracy or whatever his assistant and says, unclear who he's calling.
Clear my schedule.
Yeah, and says, clear my schedule. I'm gonna teach my daughter a lesson. And then we watch as he tries to do that. But at every turn, I was watching it with Caitlyn last night and I was like, wait, what? So he says, I'm going to need you two to make love, right?
Yeah.
So the assumption is the character's thinking, there's no way they're going to take it this far, right? And then you cut to them in robes on the bed. And I was like, just as we're thinking about what those characters are thinking, they took it already this far.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is so stupid. Why would we assume that the characters would go this far with it? I remembered us having a similar conversation when we were writing it. And then we were like, let's lean all the way into that, which is that the whole point of the story is to watch as Bruce Mathis tries to push them as far as he possibly can. And they keep going all the way through with it.
Yeah.
All the way along with it.
Yeah.
To the point where he says, let's get married and I'll marry you. And they say, okay. And then they do it. And he can't believe it because he can't go any further.
There's no
line that they're not going to cross over.
I remember debating whether or not to keep the phone call in. Right, so we have a moment where he's in the hallway and he says, "I'm gonna teach these guys a lesson."
Is it better if we know that he knows and he's doing a thing, or is it better if we don't know that he's doing a thing?
Yeah,
that was the
I
debate.
feel like nowadays we wouldn't keep that little bit of phone call in. We would say, "Let's let the audience connect those dots in their mind." But it is a good setup for the comedy of those scenes, which is probably why we ultimately.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's funnier that we know what he's doing. I stand by that choice. But I think if we didn't do it, if we wouldn't put that scene in now, it would only be because we just don't cut to characters outside of our characters.
Or we would assume that you'd either know, right? You'd either watch and be like, I bet he's doing this. Mm-hmm. Or you wouldn't know. You'd watch and you say, well, I don't know. He might be doing that. He might be not. And then it's a fun reveal when you find out that he was.
Right.
Glenn, we cut outside of our main characters on Friday. On the podcast, our main characters being you, me, and Charlie. Mm-hmm. We cut outside. When you left, we cut outside of you, and we called. We had a listener call in who's a big part of the show, and it was fine. But you know what's better with you?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you almost got replaced
by who called in?
Caitlyn Olsen.
Yeah, all we heard was. I mean, it was unlistenable.
It's bad enough we got to listen to Meg's voice. Now we got to listen to hers too. It's like, good Lord, I can't. Dudes only, bros only.
You know what? I disagree. I love women. I love women.
I was so happy when we did the call-in show.
It's been really hard working with you for so long just because of how toxic you are.
It's very toxic, yeah.
It's just so toxic, man.
Toxic.
And Megan, I'm sorry for your toxic friend here.
Yeah, so you have to put up with them. I know it's difficult.
Thanks, guys.
So much Topstick. I don't know.
No one knows what Topstick is unless you're like a costume.
Is that what people put on for like their toupees? I might need to look into that.
Mm-hmm. When you look into Topstick, it's I believe it's double-sided tape, right?
Two-sided tape.
Yeah. So if you got a shirt, if you're in a scene and you've got a shirt with buttons and it's bunching,
it's in that little hole.
Sometimes they'll come and put a little Topstick on there.
Yep.
To keep
stick your shirt together. They stick your hair on. They stick your shirt together.
Once again, the audience is at home going like, how does he get his shirt in between the buttons so flat? My sense of self-worth is destroyed by the fact that man can keep his shirt so straight.
Yeah,
It
mine's
turns out
always
it's top stick.
It's just top stick. Yeah,
Top stick.
Everything's top stick. You're sticking hair on. Yeah, you're sticking makeup on. You're sticking tan stuff on. You're sticking, somebody else's clothes on.
You got makeup on.
You got makeup on. You got, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Someone's writing the words you're saying.
It's almost like you're like creating like the illusion of like a fake reality of life or something. It's almost like you're trying to do that.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I appreciate? I appreciate that The Rock is bringing back baggy clothes. You know what I mean? Like he wears shit that's like.
Is he?
Have you seen his fucking? He'll put a suit on. His shirt will be tight, right? But his pants. Holy shit!
He's got some loose
baggy
pants.
as fuck. They're baggy as
Really?
fuck.
Sweet.
They have to be specially made, right? I mean, how do you?
Oh yeah, everything's
those legs,
specially
those-
made for The Rock.
those
Come
legs are
on,
massive.
come on. How tall is he? Is he tall
6'.
also?
No. He's 4'8".
He's 4.
Yeah.
He's big.
Yeah, they
He's
always
like
have him
6'4".
stand really close to camera, so he seems big, and the rest of the cast is way far behind him. But he's right up there, right up close to Lens, and they make tiny cars for him to drive around in and stuff.
Tiny muscle cars.
Rob's laughing because he knows that I told this like some kid this once I a long time ago, Mary Elizabeth was like working at the YMCA. I think it was like season 1 of Sunny, and like some kid was like, "Oh, what you do?" I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm an actor." He's like, "You ever met Vin Diesel?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude." He's like, "Is he badass?" I'm like, "No, he's really small." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "He's really tiny, man." He's like, what about those cars he drives? Like, they make tiny cars for him. They make like tiny little cars for him to drive around in. I don't know.
The internet says he's 6'5", Dwayne Johnson.
Wow, is he really?
That's what the internet says. But if you want,
That's
I can
awesome.
look up what
Good
the
for
internet
him.
says you guys.
Yeah, let's see what it
your
says about
heights,
us. Let's see if it's
and
accurate.
then see.
Yeah, I know it's not. The internet says I'm 5'10", and I'm not.
You taller?
You must be taller than that.
I am taller.
Why has the internet shortened you?
I don't know why the internet would do that to me. I don't dare the internet. I'm 5'10" and a half.
I'll tell you what's some bullshit on the internet. Those whole net worth things.
Oh,
Those are fun.
Those are fun.
Those are fun, but they're
I-
total bullshit.
I wish they were real.
yeah.
They're not real.
Megan, what's our net worth?
Yeah, go to the net worth thing.
What's our height
everyone's
first?
net
What's our
worth.
What's our
height?
height? That's what's our height.
How tall am I?
Wait, although let's guess this. Are they going to guess you taller or shorter or dead or right on?
I'm actually not even certain how tall you are. 5'7"?
With a pair of shoes on. Take my shoes off. I'm
5'6".
probably 5'6" 3/4".
That's what we're talking about with no shoes on.
The internet says 5'7" for you, Charlie.
Okay. It's rounding
Rob
up.
5'10",
What the fuck?
and Glenn
pushing it.
5'10" as well.
Oh, we're the same.
Oh, we're the same height. Yeah. That's
Look,
clear.
the internet says it.
The internet says it is so.
It claims that Charlie's worth $30 million.
Oh my! Can I take that to the? Can I cash that in?
Wow.
Can I take that to the bank?
I mean, I don't know.
That's some fucking bullshit, man. I should be.
You should have $30 million.
God damn it!
Yeah. How much do I have?
It says Rob's worth $50 million.
Oh,
which
50.
is
What?
Why are you worth so much
I
more
would
than me?
almost double. What?
Well,
and
is that
Glenn 25.
The internet hates you, man.
that hurts. That hurts.
The internet thinks
What is
you're
that
short
based on?
and poor.
Well, see, okay, so
And I'm tall and rich.
And you're
I
tall
love
and
the
rich.
internet.
they're building you up and tearing me down. But this is what the internet does, isn't it? It takes the biggest star and tries to tear him down. That's what the internet does, man.
They made The Rock 6'5". He must be like 7'10".
But what is crazy about that shit though is that how often we'll recognize, right, that all of those numbers are off, and yet when someone's like, "Hey, did you know that The Rock? What does it say The Rock was worth?"
Yeah,
Because
I was
whatever
just
the number
looking at
is,
Yeah, I'll
whatever the number is, I'll believe it.
I'll believe it.
I'll believe it.
And I'll still believe it.
It says 800 million.
I believe that.
I don't believe it.
I actually do
I don't
believe
believe
that.
it. Get
I do
out of
believe
here.
that. Yeah, yeah,
800
yeah.
million with taxes and all the
No, buddy,
people that he's got to
his
pay that
terror,
are
his
working
ter-
under.
they have, I don't, have he's,
No
I don't
way.
think they haven't sold Terramana
No
yet,
way.
but I think it's something like 4 times like I think it's like
But
worth
still,
$4
if
billion.
it's called celebrity net worth, right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
what it's
So
called.
that means that after you're saying that he's made $1.6 billion.
I think that's possible. No, more
God
than
bless him.
that.
God
More than
more
that.
than that. Yeah, because the agents and
You're not.
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
taking home 50%.
So you're saying The Rock, his income has been well over $2 billion.
I think if you look at his movies,
No.
his endorsements, his energy drink, his tequila, his shoes, his clothes, the man
Is rocking it.
He's rocking it.
He's rocking it.
$2 billion is a lot of income.
Why are you getting more money?
Because of
than me?
Caitlyn. Because of Caitlyn.
No,
It's
that's
not. It's not his
That's-
combined
no.
net worth. That's not combined.
I don't know. Is it combined?
I
Let's see if
don't
Caitlyn
know.
Olsen has her
I don't-
own separate. Because now we're about to add these together, guys.
Oh,
if she's got
Jesus.
her own separate, we're going to take the 50 and.
Oh no, it says 50 million for her too.
Oh, that's combined. They
That's all we
combined it.
have?
Oh, that's how they did it.
Yeah, net worth is combined with her husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
See, my wife makes documentaries about social issues, so she's not making millions and millions of dollars, but she is making the world a better place.
By the way, it says she's 5'8".
Caitlyn?
That's probably
That
right.
sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's
I
probably
think,
5'8".
yeah, I'm honestly, I'm 5'9", so I'm an inch. I think I'm an inch taller than her. Because when she wears heels, she's taller than me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She towers over you. We're.
She can see that bald
It's
spot
embarrassing.
from every direction.
Oh yeah.
She does seem tall.
She's a tall lady. She's very skinny too.
She's long.
5'8's
She's long.
not that tall.
Her arms are so long.
Right. She's got a
when we're
wingspan.
home,
A wingspan.
she can reach up and grab
So if
things.
there's
She's the one grabbing.
yeah. If there's a jar,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
there for yeah.
Buddy,
Is she opening
she's
jars?
she can reach higher than you.
Is-
These arms are ridiculous. We've measured her this way. So
Well, she got long fingers too.
she does. So human beings are supposed to be their exact height this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And then sometimes there's outliers. And
Did
Kate,
you know that?
I did not
If
know
you
that.
measure
So
from here-
okay,
if you
so
measure
there are
from
people
here
who
to
are just
here-
listening. Rob has his arms
Fully extended, yes.
extended, sort of like Jesus on a cross look, and he's saying if you measure from finger to finger, that's supposed to equal your height.
Yeah,
Yes, I have heard
it's
that.
almost like it's pretty eerie.
Do we have a tape measure in this office?
We can get one. If we don't, we might as well do our height while we're here. Too.
I can't. Yeah.
and then
I can't. You can't
but
do mine
Caitlyn
right now.
has the
What do you mean
wingspan.
viewers right now? Your height's different right
I'm
now
hunched.
than it's.
I'm hunched because of my injury. Like I'm literally like I can't. It hurts for me to stand up to like fully straight. Still.
That's some
Weird. This
bullshit,
is
man.
weird. That's
some
okay.
bullshit.
When we're all able-bodied, we'll take a tape measure.
Sorry, my shoulder's broken. You can't measure my height.
No. It's my back. It's my fucking back. Like I got whiplash.
You don't have a tall
Like,
back right now.
I don't have a tall back right now.
It's
My
your
spine's
Vitruvian
fucked up.
spine is-
My Vitruvian spine has been all fucked up from my snowboarding incident. Okay.
Let me get a tape measure. This is worth doing because it's really
I
interesting.
might have one outside.
Okay, let's grab one.
Yeah.
I think.
I've always felt like I had slightly short arms, so I wouldn't be surprised if my wingspan was shorter than my body.
Well, let's find out. This is going to be interesting.
I can't lift this arm up.
Yeah.
Well, oh shit.
He's healed.
The Vitruvian
Vitruvian man is back. He's lifted his arms.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that. I actually didn't know I could do that.
Jesus, you can do me.
Oh yeah. So for the Glenn, you want to walk them through?
Yeah. Okay. So, for the listener who's not watching this,
Height first.
Keep shoes on.
are we? Is this going to be on camera? Are the cameras
yeah,
high
they're on
enough
the
to capture
wide,
this?
yeah.
We'll keep the
Well, you got to take your hat off, bud.
hat goes off. I'll go do it from the back.
Yeah.
This is shoes on, so give or take.
Come on, straighten that neck. Straight. Yeah, there you go. Get that chin nice and high.
Okay, so we have you at 67.5 inches. So that's 5'7.5".
That's 5'7" and a half.
the shoes on. So.
But well, with shoes on.
Right, so 5'7".
5'7".
Now
Let's
see
call
the
it
wingspan.
5'7".
Oh, the wingspan.
Now, can you hold?
Okay, so he's holding his arms out like Jesus on the cross,
I'll pin it to the door.
We're talking.
and we're gonna see if his wingspan matches his.
Meg, can I have some confirmation? We have you at 67 inches.
Wow.
Wow.
What's your?
That's science.
So now we realize that it is a very well-proportioned man, Charlie Day.
I'm gonna measure Rob.
All right, McElhenney, let's see what you got. So now McElhenney's holding one arm out, but not the other one.
I'm so happy I wore my lifts today.
You go to Tom Cruise's guy, right?
Right. Yeah, we got the same guy.
I got.
Yeah, let's get the hat and the headphones off here.
All right.
Let's make sure you don't measure his hair, what's left of
The
it.
hair could be high.
Don't measure what's left of his hair. Just measure to the top of his head. Here we go. Megan's assisting.
I'm right around 70.
70. So that would be.
That would be 5'10", but an inch for the shoes probably because I have.
Uh-huh.
He's got some tall.
I'm 5'9".
You said 5'9"?
You might be 5'9" and a half though, no? Or
Wingspan.
5'9" and a quarter at least. Anyway.
Pin it to the door. Okay. Let's see here.
All right, now we're doing McElhenney's wingspan.
Now we're going wingspan.
We're gonna cut all this.
Yeah, 69, which would make sense
5'9".
with the shoes.
Crazy.
Wow.
That's the Vitruvian. I think that's the Vitruvian thing, right? The Vitruvian measurement.
Thank you.
That is the Vitruvian measurement.
Meg, any
Holy
interest?
shit, Megan, would you like to be
I'm
measured?
good.
Would you like to be measured by Meg? You don't want to be exploited by men?
Yeah, would you like the men to measure you?
But I know for a fact that Meg has mentioned that she's like sometimes feels self-conscious about being tall. And I'm like, it's not that you're tall, it's that we're small. Like I'm around you.
How
It's
tall
like,
are
I
you?
don't
Is that
care,
why
like-
you married the world's tallest man?
Yes.
Well, you did work.
I'm 5'10" and a little bit.
Are you?
And my husband's 6'7".
Woo!
And for Sunny fans, he played Alan in
Yes.
the sexual harassment episode.
God, he's so funny in that episode.
He's a very
And
funny actor.
you
What a
guys-
funny man.
You guys wrote the thing about his dick being big. I
Yes.
did not put that in.
Yes, yeah, that was us. That was
That
us.
was you.
You guys been watching the Pam and Tommy thing?
No, is that
No.
good?
I'm enjoying it.
Great, I'm gonna watch it.
There's a whole scene where, spoiler alert, where his like penis talks.
I heard about that. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was like,
That's great.
I was like, okay, awesome. Finally, and we've talked about this.
Do they show it
They're
talking?
showing.
Do they show its little mouth?
Finally, the dicks
His little
are
sideways mouth?
I saw the article today. We're having a penis renaissance. There's been a lot of penises this year.
Penisance.
A penisance.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. The penis is back.
Fair.
Glenn's really happy about it. I was very happy about
I think it's well overdue that we have a penisance because we've been showing other stuff for a long time, and it's time to show those dicks, guys. It's time to get your dicks out,
out.
and show everybody what you've got.
Yeah. Not at work. Not at work.
Don't take your dick out on a Zoom.
no,
In public,
no,
in
no,
public,
no,
keep it in the
No,
pants.
no. But if you're in a movie, take your dick out and let's see what you've got.
long as-
That's the
As long
right
as
place
it's-
for
as
it.
long as everyone is
scripted
aware.
and everyone they've cleared the set.
We've agreed there's a time and a place for everything, and the time and a place is when you're doing a movie and a TV show. That's when you take your dick out. Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, since we do a whole scene with, character reading the will of, if you guys were to die suddenly, what would you leave me? Would you leave me anything, or does it all go to the family?
Millions of dollars I've made you. How much are you worth? $25 million?
That's a lot of money.
And that's pretty much you have the two of us to
Oh, so
thank for that.
you're saying. Well, that's definitely true, actually.
yeah.
But I have to thank you guys
okay,
as
no,
well.
so
for the
I
Is
gotta-
there anything
I
you'd
gotta-
like to leave me, Charlie?
I'm trying to think what you like.
You could even just go ahead.
I probably have like a nice Japanese whiskey, which I know you enjoy. So I could leave you my
Did
whiskey.
you see me just light that?
You know?
I actually just genuinely got a little bit touched by that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm genuinely
You can
touched.
have my whiskeys. You're touched by the fact that I know what it is that you really like.
Yes, and that you would give me that you would
Yeah.
that
sure.
you would will that to me.
Okay, I'll see if I'll call my.
All right, Rob, what would you give me?
Oh, no. I can't. I'm not going to follow that.
What would you give me
What would Glenn like?
other than whiskey?
Make it up. You don't actually. It doesn't have to be a real thing.
No one really knows.
You can just make up a
What does Glenn like?
You give me a good blender.
You could recut that episode and take the gunshots out.
Oh, wow.
That would be really nice.
Wow.
And listen, you wouldn't even have to we don't have to replace the current one. You just literally give it to me.
Okay, why don't we do that? Why don't we do that anyway? Because it might be interesting to see the scene as exactly the way you want it cut.
Okay, so I think the funniest version, for the record, if we're actually going to do this, is 5 clicks and then a gunshot. I don't know if there's a way to cut it that way, but
we have the technology to do that. Of course, we could just go back. They'd have to just pull that one.
it wouldn't. Depending on how many times he fires it, and I think he does fire it probably 6 times, because then he reloads it and fires it again at the end.
Yeah.
You could take
So stupid.
the first. You could just mute the first.
Yeah, but the flashes. Did we do muzzle
I
flashes?
don't think we did.
I think we
Yeah.
did.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But we could go back. Hey, look, for you, buddy, since you're dead and whatnot, we'll go back and we'll pull that old footage and we'll have it recut for you.
Well, I'm not dead. You're dead. You're leaving me something. I'm alive.
I still don't understand that.
Yeah. You know how it works. You died,
right.
and you left me something. I'm alive.
That's not-
You're
you
alive.
don't- You don't leave the dead man something.
So then you have full autonomy to cut the show any way you want.
Whoa. You would leave me that right?
That's what I'm leaving for
The Glenn Howerton cut
the Glenn Howerton cut
of the whole fucking series.
I'll put that in my will. How about this? I'll put this in my will. You guys should continue making the show. By the way, we have actually all decided that if one of us dies, we will continue making the show. That was years ago before we made that. We did make that call.
And it's not to honor you. It's because we want to continue making money. Yeah.
But how about this? If I die, or when I die from some awesome thing, and you guys are still making the show.
Wait. You guys still want to make the show?
Oh, yeah. You guys
I don't even want to make the show with you.
No, I keep trying to get out of this.
Let's say,
right.
You keep trying to get out.
But what if I put in my will that I always side with Glenn?
Holy shit, that'd be so fucked up.
So he's got a super majority.
I have a super majority.
That'd be fine because Glenn and I tend to agree on creative
That
things.
is true. That is true.
Agree
For the
a
most
lot
part,
on
we
creative
Generally,
things.
Charlie and I disagreeing, and you. No, I don't know.
I don't know that that's necessary.
No, it's generally me.
Cycles around.
Yeah.
It cycles around.
It cycles around. Yeah. But I would say that it's very rare where there's a scene, in the editing room where there's like gunshots getting put in or whatever it is, and I'm like, that's that's crazy to me.
I would say it's rare that we heavily disagree on anything at this point. Like we usually know when something is working or not working.
Can we agree that we've done the podcast for the day?
I don't know about that, Rob.
I don't know.
I
How
have
much?
something to leave you guys, even though I'm not dead, but I have a special treat for you today.
You do?
Which is, this morning, I hard-boiled these eggs in coffee.
No fucking way.
No
to
way.
see whether it would get through. So if you guys want to peel these eggs and then taste them,
let's do
you
it.
can see.
Let's do it.
You didn't peel it before you boiled it?
I did not peel it.
Okay,
before
so
I
you
boiled
just
it.
you just boiled
I made a pot of coffee and then I put the eggs into the coffee with no extra water, just the coffee. And then I boiled them as I standardly do hard-boiled eggs.
we would wait. Do you have salt?
There's no brown coloration in here though. Like with the tea.
The
tea egg.
shells
They
off.
still smell. They still smell like egg.
See, here's
That's
what I think. The
amazing.
tea egg. The thing with the tea egg, and I don't know. I'll have to
I
look.
can never peel these well. Do you
Well-
guys suck at? I suck at peeling hard.
You gotta use the
eggs.
side of your thumb.
These are tough.
The side.
These are tough.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
shattering
the
into a billion pieces.
I'm not good at this.
Not getting any good.
I would say that I think maybe let's look up how the tea egg is cooked. But I think what I meant to say when I asked if
I
you
did look that up, and actually they soak it in tea after they hard boil it. And
after they
peel.
boil it. So so this is going to be nothing
This
probably.
is not going to taste like coffee.
This is going to taste like it smells like an egg.
It just tastes like an egg.
Yeah. Oh, does it?
So
yeah. Well, it
But
can't
look, I like
penetrate
it.
the
I like it
shell,
too.
right?
So we got to do it the way they do the tea egg. You gotta
Soak it in coffee.
and this is what I meant when I said, "Do you peel it first?" You got to boil it, peel it, and then soak it in some coffee.
I'm so okay.
But definitely boil it first before you peel it.
Well, Megan, thank
That's
you either
your
way.
boy.
Thank you very much.
My husband was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm working."
I'm working here.
Hey guys, wait. For those freaks out there, let's do a little ASMR.
Why?
Stop! Oh my god!
Now,
That actually does not bother me. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother you. Wait, let me do it. Let me see if I can do
It
it.
won't bother me if you're doing it on purpose.
Really?
Right, that's what we established.
Chewing sounds don't bother
It's
me.
not the sound. It's that people don't give a shit.
Yes,
it's the chaos.
It's the psychology behind it being like, I don't care what sounds I make that are invading this space.
That was very odd because the sound bugs the shit out of me. And whether you are doing it intentionally or not, it's the sound.
So this bothers you?
Yes, it does.
Even though I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
To try and bother.
There's a lot of people out there right now that are fucking really grossed out, and then there's some people that are getting erections.
Right.
Right? Right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Is that what it is?
I don't know. Like, are women into this? Meg, are they
No.
getting turned? No,
No.
it's only men that do
Oh, you speak for all women, Meg?
Yes, I
Great.
do.
Meg speaks for all women. It's a good egg, Meg. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
no
a good
problem.
egg.
Good. Coffee
good
egg.
egg in these trying
so
times.
it turns out you can boil your egg in coffee or water and it won't penetrate the shell.
Boil it and whatever you're already boiling, just go ahead and throw an egg in there. It won't make a difference. That's basically what we're saying. Well, guys, this has been great.
Episode's been brought to you by egg.
Egg.
It's just funny.
For your trying times.
I don't like it. I don't like it.